Today, we speak with a CEO who lives with only 64 things. Let's figure it out. I'm NEILG and welcome to CEEMO. This is Cédric Waldburger. He lives as a digital nomad. And incredibly, he only owns 64 things in his backpack and he travels the world managing several different companies remotely. He talks about this on his website, the 64 project. He has promised me to feature on CEEMO, and I could dig a little bit deeper into what drives this guy and tell this guy's story. So, serial entrepreneur, digital nomad, public speaker, and if that wasn't enough, he also makes daily vlogs. As you can imagine, it's a little bit hard to get hold of him, what with the running around the world and that. But he did mention he would be in touch really soon. In fact, it should be any second now. How convenient.
Hey Neil, I'm really sorry I can't be with you right now. I'm in Menlo Park. Just had a couple of meetings at Facebook. As you said, I live with just 64 things. They're all in my backpack right now. I've started minimalizing the amount of stuff I own about 4 or 5 years ago, and for the last 2 years I haven't had a constant home. I've been constantly traveling, and just having this little stuff really helps with that. It's extremely liberating. Anyway, I gotta catch an Uber now and head to the airport because my next flight leaves in a couple hours. See you somewhere else.
15 is the number of companies that Cédric has been involved with, and he's going to be here shortly to tell us more about this. And he promised me he's going to send me a text message any second. Oh, he did.
Hey Neil, I'm in Frankfurt right now during my layover. Sorry I couldn't make it to your studio this time, but I'm sure we'll figure something out in the future. Anyway, I have to get going for my flight, and I'll see you soon.
In the meantime, here's some facts about Cédric.
I do 200 push-ups every day. I do 300 squats every morning. My 64 items are all black. I don't drink coffee or alcohol, only water. I'm obsessed with efficiency. I plan on living this lifestyle as long as it makes me happy.
3.7. That's the number of days Cédric spends in any one place at any given time. And by all accounts, I'm getting a sense that it's going to be a little bit tricky to get him over here on CEEMO. I really need to start thinking about this. Probably the best way to track down this dude is to watch his YouTube vlogs. Let's see where he's been. I think there's a clue.
It's a much sunnier day today than it was yesterday, but it's still freezing cold, and so I'm actually kind of glad I did buy a jacket again, because for over a year I needed a jacket where actually quite
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Neil, actually I can hear you. Hey, how are you?
Really?
Yeah, really.
This I did not expect.
Yeah, I'm in Toronto for the next 2.5 days, and I heard you had a question for me.
Yeah, you say that you only spend a few days in any given country. How exactly does that work out? Also, I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah, I haven't had an apartment or a constant home for the last 2 years, so I travel constantly. I think it's not because I love this lifestyle, but it enables me to do what I love, which is learning about startups, building companies, and spending time with the people I value and contributing as much value as I can to the projects that I'm passionate about.
It's pretty fascinating. What kind of businesses are you involved with?
One is called Glimpse. That one's based in Miami. It's a computer vision company. We're building, you could say, the Google Analytics for bars and restaurants. The second one is Sendtask. Sendtask is a productivity app that allows you to share tasks with anyone instead of emails. And the third company is a blockchain project called Dfinity, which is based between Switzerland, Palo Alto, and then we have a bunch of people based all over the world.
Okay, awesome. I need to figure out how we're going to make this episode of CEEMO work. Are you going to be joining me at some point, or what's the deal?
Yeah, let's figure something out. I think I have a window this Friday before I'm flying back to San Francisco, where I'll be in Zurich. But now, Neil, I gotta go. I have this conference to attend, but I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, wait, Okay, not exactly sure if he's gonna make it, but in the meantime, here's another number. 120. 120 is the number of flights that Cédric has been on just last year, and if you're wondering, that's 284,961 kilometers, 51 airports, in 48 cities, in 28 countries. So that's quite a lot what I'm saying. Hong Kong.
Hey Neil, good speaking to you again. I just made it to Hong Kong, as you can see in the background.
Quick question. What's your philosophy of life and of business, and how does that connect with the 64 project?
I think there's a lot of power in simplicity. Breaking down things to the bare minimum, to the essentials, I think is very powerful because it allows us to focus on what's important versus all the clutter.
Okay, how important is passion versus ambition?
For me, the two are definitely connected. What I see is that passion comes from putting ambition into something. So if I spend a bit of time developing a skill, that usually helps me become passionate about it, and it's not the other way around. I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make. First, sometimes you have to put in some energy, develop the basic version of that skill, and that's when you'll feel whether you have a passion for it or not. All right, I gotta go.
You may be asking yourself at this point, what exactly are those 64 things? And that's a very valid question. In fact, Cédric, what are they?
Phone, backup phone, jacket, drone, weight scale, beach towel in a packing kit, biceps trainer, beard trimmer, shaver, toiletries, 35 items of clothing, big duffel bag, small duffel bag, sunglasses, wallet, keyring, noise cancelling headphones, black pots, passport, travel amenity kit, adapters and cables, laptop, shoes number 1, shoes number 2, camera.
New email. Hey Neil, I won't be able to make it after Hong Kong either. I made a video explaining why. Please click here.
Hey Neil, I'm in Indonesia right now. Sorry I couldn't be with you. I've been here for the last couple days. I'm running a small conference.
Change of plan.
I'm running a small conference for about 15 people here. Tomorrow I'm gonna go back to Hong Kong, but feel free to just shoot me any questions you may have.
How about we do this interview now? Recording. Cédric, now that I've finally got you, can we finish the interview?
Of course, let's do it.
Okay. First question. From this experiment, what have you learned on a personal level?
My number one takeaway from this is that my personal happiness is in no ways correlated or connected to the things that I own. Just owning 64 things, I'm perfectly happy. Sometimes our society shows me like I need to have this and that. It's all crap. For me, personal happiness is about the people I spend time with and the things that I learn.
Second question. What's the biggest challenge of this way of life?
I think there's a few jet lag, a lot of time in airports and on airplanes where you feel you're not as productive. So I had to figure out my systems and rituals. Also nutrition is kind of hard at the beginning. At the beginning I was eating very unhealthy because I was trying local cuisine everywhere. So I had to figure out like how do I stay healthy. And then I think third, workouts. I used to go to the gym, and as soon as I started traveling, there was no gym anymore, right? So now I just have like my daily routine of bodyweight exercises. Also something that's super interesting to think about. How do I make a relationship work? Both with like my girlfriend, but also with my friends. But there's also a good part to this, which is I can be very proactive about who I spend time with. So very often I'm the one reaching out and I'm making sure I get to see a certain person.
And what advice do you have for anyone maybe contemplating the idea of becoming a digital nomad?
I think it's all about just get it going. See everything as an experiment. Start something besides your day jobs, or just try to do a side hustle and start something on the side. The way I started out was with a very simple business, and I started that while I was still going to school, while I was studying. Try to get it up and running while you still have your income and while you still work. Just try to find this one thing that you're passionate about and you solve a problem that people are willing to pay for. Second part about becoming a digital nomad or being able to work and travel, think about how you can detach yourself from a physical presence. Almost any profession, there's a version that is a digital nomad version. For example, a teacher, you could be teaching in a classroom, but you could also be giving online courses, and that's something you can just try out. You can do that while you're still a teacher in a certain location, and then also go on and do that while you're traveling. So I think it's all about being creative and just creating a framework that works for you.
Cédric, thank you so much for being on CEEMO today. It's been an adventure.
Truly has been. Thanks for having me, and sorry to put you through all this trouble.
And I'll hand it back to you, Neil. And that's it for this episode of CEEMO. If you liked today's episode, please comment, like, and subscribe, all that jazz and the thing. And I'll see you soon for more CEEMO.